Hi, my name is Dave Poland. I want to welcome you to Portland Film Beat. Tonight, my guest is Jill Murphy Long. She's a writer, director, producer, and well, she's done just about everything on a film set, including craft services, location scouting. Jill, thank you for being here. I'm really glad you showed up. Anyway, let's get started right away. You know, the thing you do most is producing. Is that right? Okay, and you're getting to produce, is it and direct? Is it your first documentary? Pink Boots and Brew, is that right?
Right, it'll be the first feature-length documentary I've done. I did a shorter one that's still in post called Without Women, but Pink Boots.
Right, we're going to see a little clip from that later and talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
And do you have a feature too? Is it called Meltdown that you're planning on doing in 2016?
Right, we're moving into that. It's based on the 1979 nuclear accident at 3 Mile Island, so we'll be covering that topic.
Right, and do you know people that lived out there or something? Is that right?
Me.
Really?
My whole family, my classmates, yeah. We had a story break last week in one of the local papers, and the response has been incredible. About 3,500 people have reached out to me on Facebook, and now they're emailing and texting and calling. So I feel the story needs to be told. So that's the plan for 2016, is to get the cameras turned on.
Are you going to go out there and shoot it? Or
yeah, we'll be shooting in Pennsylvania, Colorado, and I would like to shoot in Oregon. Since Pennsylvania and Oregon look so much alike, I think we can, don't tell anybody, we'll fake it if we have to, but I'd like to film here as well.
Right, okay, where did you train?
I trained in the School of Life.
Is that right?
I started as a writer. I mean, I'm an English major, and I'm an author.
But you've written in you've actually been published.
Yes, yeah, I have 5 novels out. And
wow.
Yeah, I never went to film school, but I've been a student of film. I love film, I watch film all the time.
But you've written a lot of scripts, right?
Yes, yes. So I've done about 9 shorts since I moved to Portland, so now I want to
In 2 years?
In a year. I'm a little tired.
Okay, I bet.
But we have 2 more shorts we're going to roll out this year, and then we'll go into features next year. Okay. So I have a really good team. I've been meeting a lot of great people here in Portland.
Right, and where did you move from?
Colorado, most recently.
And you moved here for the film industry,
yes.
Is that right? Wow, well that is so great. And so what first, I mean, you already answered it, but what first got you interested in film? Here's the thing, what made you the transition from writer into actually directing and producing?
Yeah, you know, with the book you have 85,000 words. That's great. You have a long time to tell a story. With the script you have 100 pages, 110 maybe.
But you got to tell the same story in that length of time.
And I love it though, because you have, you know, a 3-dimensional world.
Right.
And you have actors that bring things to life.
Right, and you have to do it in a minimalist way.
Yes. So it's very rewarding. To be on, I love being on set, just to see it come alive in the paper and just have the actors and the crew make it all happen. It's just wonderful.
All right. You're a writer, a director of Art Studio Legacy. And tell us the premise of this story. Because this had a meaning, a lot to you.
Michelle Davis is a good friend of mine. She's an artist. Her uncle died of leukemia. He had saved every paycheck.
She's actually the actress in it, too.
Right, yeah, she started in it. Low budget, but I think we did a great job. Molly Preston was the DP cinematographer on that. Kevin Forrest helped with lighting and gaff. And then Evan, what's Evan's last name? Oh my gosh, Gandy, did sound. He's been great. So it was a small crew, small set, but it was a really personal story, and you know, it started out at 10 minutes. We took it down. I think it's just around 3 minutes now. Right. So it's a very, very short.
How about, we're going to take a few moments here. We're going to watch like 10 seconds of Art Studio Legacy, just so you get an idea of what it's about, and we'll be right back. You know, it's so interesting that she actually acted in a thing that had so much meaning and impact to her, you know, because of the...
She lost her uncle. It was really hard.
And he had the studio built. He saved up his paychecks.
Yeah, and he never really made art. So he asked her, when he was basically on his deathbed, to, you know, continue the legacy. So she's making art.
So, and you already said the cinematographer's here. And how do you work with the cinematographer? Do you just let them set up the camera? Do you work with them? Do you set up? Do you come in there with a shot list and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, they usually put the shot list together. It depends. If I wrote and if I'm writing and directing it, then I'll do the shot list. If I'm the producer on it, then obviously I just pull the other pieces together. You know, the people, the locations, etc. But we try to do a shot list. From the script initially, and then obviously once the location's landed, then there's certain things you want to get on the shot list, like, you know, if that cup is important, we need just you know right off the bat what has to be on it. But then once we're in the location, obviously things change again.
They change. But if you have a shot list, then it makes it easy to
but
transition
then I want
into
we
it.
do it again because I don't want to be there on set, going back to 145 times. And sometimes you have to, but at the same token, the actor's like, what are we doing wrong? Nothing. We just want to shoot it again.
Yeah. So one of the things you don't do is editing.
Right.
And who edited it?
Which one?
The Art Studio
Oh,
Legacy.
Molly did. Molly
she?
Preston. Yeah, she
Okay,
did a great
right.
job. She's a great editor.
So Space Between, tell us about that one. What's the premise
That
of
was my first movie when I moved here. I played with the concept of time travel and reincarnation. So basically, there's one couple that keeps running into reincarnations of themselves as they walk through the cemetery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I like the movies before.
Is it a little creepy?
I don't like cemeteries. That's one reason why we went there. I never visited my parents' grave. So anyhow, it was a lot of it was personal. It was about a writer trying to meet her deadline. Yeah, but it was fun. David, I'm forgetting names tonight. The director of Riverview Cemetery was very kind and let us come in and film there. Then we filmed in an 1886 mansion, and Neil Sailing and his family was very accommodating. So we did it
Tell
in
us how
2
you got
days.
that mansion. Isn't that by chance that you found it?
Yeah, I'm kind of a stalker. I walk around neighborhoods and look at houses I like, and then I get the nerve up and I go in
That's
and
the
I knock
location
on the
manager what has
Yeah,
to
I
do.
know. Sometimes I write letters and leave letters, or I usually just go up and go, "Hey, hi, I'm making a movie. I love your house. It's beautiful. Can we come in and film? We'll bring food and coffee and our own toilet paper." And they're like, "Okay." So most of the time they say yes. So
Right. And so you went to this house, knocked on the door, and told them you wanted to use their house, and they said yeah?
And he's like, "Come on in for a tour." And I'm like, "I'm not sure if this is a good idea. I'm by myself, and this is a man." But it turned out his wife was there and his daughter was
Okay,
there. Too,
right,
so everything was fine.
All right. We're going to take 10 seconds and watch just a little bit of Space Between them. We'll be right back. Okay, so that is kind of interesting.
Well,
It's an interesting
that's
one.
kind of a teaser for a feature film for Space Between. I'm writing it now. It takes place between Paris and London. Or, I'm sorry,
Okay.
Paris and where are we? Or Portland. So I'm 40 pages into that. So next time you see me, ask me if it's done yet.
Is
The
it done
script.
yet?
No. I need more time.
Okay, so she doesn't realize she's written the story of her past lives until she meets her soulmate in a cemetery. So that's what
Right.
it's kind of about.
Yeah, I can't say a whole lot because there'll be a spoiler alert. But yeah, Steph and Gunnar keep coming around.
Okay.
They're a couple in 1920. They're professors at Lewis and Clark in the 80s, and then current day couple.
Right. So the tagline is second chances might be possible now or in your second life or your next life, right?
Yep.
And so who was the cinematographer in that?
Brian Peterson said yes. I called him up and he's like, "I got a camera. Let's do this." And then
All right.
I had Brian Stillwell, which did sound, and Gray Proctor that did sound, and Brian Bobbitt that did camera work, and Zoe Ziglinger also did camera. A lot of people came together, and it was amazing. We pulled that off. It was pouring, raining. It was freezing cold, but it worked.
All right. And you wrote Without Women
Yes.
and directed it.
Yes.
Okay. And this is we're going to watch a little bit of the trailer. It's a narrative documentary. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
I was just trying to do a short about the power of women's hands, whether it was medical, like OBGYN, neurosurgeons, cardiologists, to the arts, Reiki, yoga, massage, and then also art, painting.
And what life would be without them, I guess.
Right. And
Okay,
that's what the trailer kind of
Yeah, I know. It's great. Hey, we're going to take, this one's going to be a little bit longer than the other ones, and we'll be right back. We're going to watch Without Women. Yeah, I like that. You know, the ending is kind of creepy where they're
They disappear.
Disappear.
Well, thank God. I don't know if you saw recently, just side note, China has reinstated or took away, I'm using the wrong verb, a writer can't think of the word. They had the one-child policy since the late 70s. And
Yeah,
they finally realized
right.
after, they have all these men now. And went, oh, we have too many men, we have enough women, so now they're allowing the population to have 2 children. So that was in my movie, that
Right.
whole, story.
Oh, really? Okay, so who are some of the actors in that?
There are
Gosh, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's 54 subjects since it's a documentary. Friends and family, real doctors, real people from the hospital.
Right.
They just let me. We filmed it in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, where I moved from, and the town's very
Oh,
accommodating.
so you shot that before you moved here?
Yeah, well, I shot it there and brought it here and said, okay, somebody edit this.
Okay,
so that's
who-
why
who
it's in
did the
post
editing
now.
for that
It's
one?
in post right now.
Okay.
So
And who was the cinematographer? They're back in
yeah,
Colorado?
back in Colorado, Steve Moose and Stephanie Moose were great.
All right, so you're not an actor, and that is one thing you don't do.
No,
Why?
thank you. I'd rather
Why?
not be, because there's very good actors out there.
Okay.
I like to write.
Okay, good. And what is the largest crew you've worked with?
I worked with Brian Hiltner on Atlanta Advance, and that was
Atlanta Advance, yeah.
probably hitting about 50 people. We had a lot of extras. The cast and crew was substantial. Yeah, it was, and then we shot in 6 different locations in 2 states over the holidays.
Right, and that was he was here, so that was like was it Peacock Lane?
Yeah, Peacock Lane. We shot in Happy Valley. We shot up in Battleground, Washington. Shot out in the Burbs. It was great, and
Right.
then Peacock Lane for 2
And
nights.
what was your role? What
I was producer. He called me just as I was wrapping. I actually was on day 2 of. It was only 2 days for space between, but he called me like Saturday night. And we're filming the next morning. He's like, "I need help. I need you. You need to do this." And I'm like, "Okay, let me just finish this movie, and I'll be there Monday." So we met, and
Right,
within
okay.
a month we pulled it all together. But I came in very late into that production. But
Okay.
I helped him out
Well,
a lot.
we've got a little clip from you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're going to come right back. We're going to watch a little bit of a. Is it Alana or Lena?
I say Atlanta Vance.
Atlanta Vance.
Brian did a great job.
We'll be right back. Yeah, that whole Peacock Lane thing is really stunning. I thought that the cinematography in that was really, really good. I saw the
Yeah.
whole film.
Oh, okay.
Right,
great.
and I thought the cinematography, and I think it was
Was it Jesse?
Jesse.
What's
did
Jesse's
that.
last name?
I can't
I should've
remember,
brought
but
my
huh?
IMBD has all the movies up with everyone that I'm messing your names up. I apologize, but I put all the pages up. So they're
Right,
up.
okay. Anyway, you are currently producing Happily Ever After.
Right.
And that there was actually, it's a web series, and there was like, was it 4 of them shot? And they're shooting the next 4?
Well, we shot 8, 1 month, and
Mm-hmm.
now we're shooting the 4 more on Sunday of next week. So they're just teasers. Happily Ever After, a therapist is trying to help the stars. So we start back in biblical times, and we'll move through time up to the presidents, and then to modern day celebrities. So it's just supposed to be a trailer.
Okay, who wrote it? You were the producer on that?
Yes, but I've been editing a lot. Mitch Rolfsky is the writer, and he came up with the whole concept and the idea, and he's written the pilot. But what's great is there's like 10 writers on set between the actors and crew. A lot of us write.
Okay.
So like last session, something wasn't working, and he's like, "All right, anybody?" So we called it out, and he's like, "That's it." So it was really fun to be on set where you could like write on the fly. So it's almost like it's impromptu to a certain degree, but with having that many writers.
And
on
you had a
set.
lot of actors in that, different ones.
Yeah,
Who-
we have
like
10 actors in it.
Elisa Fossmeyer?
Right, and Adam Stockman play Adam and Eve. And then PK Glazer and Dana Shea play Mary and Jesus. And then we have Virgin Mary and Joseph, that's Josh and Charissa. And lastly, we have the Romans, Taylor Tunes and David Frank, and Taylor's real husband, Russell Tunes, which makes it nice because there's like that natural chemistry. So they don't
is
have to
good.
fake it. Yeah, so we've been having a lot of fun with that. So
right.
I can't wait till we shoot again next
We're going to
Sunday.
watch about 10 to 15 seconds of the Happily Ever After, and we'll be right back.
Okay, it was a bite? I mean, I didn't eat the seeds or anything.
Guess you missed that day in sex ed class, the one where they explain where babies come from.
Have you ever heard of a martyr complex? Look it up. It takes duo for me to have the man of my dreams.
Why not 3 or 4? Perhaps you want someone who's good around the house.
What, are you sick?
Okay, I really enjoyed that because especially the Mary Joseph arguing. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, Adam and Eve.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
those, because couples have been arguing
Right.
since day one, I'm sure.
Exactly.
And that was a short clip of 4 episodes, and you did the other 4? Did you just shoot those? And
we-
those aren't
yeah,
in
we just
production-
shot
those
them
aren't
since
those
I-
aren't edited or out there yet, are
We're
they?
putting, Zoe's on this job as well. A lot of Evan's working on this. Carrie Strela is my hair and makeup lady. So a lot of people repeat. So if we work well together, then we stay together. So we shoot again the next 4 episodes next Sunday.
Is that right? How many screenplays have you written?
I think I'm at 12.
Is that right?
Well, in Colorado, there wasn't a lot to do. I skied and biked. I taught at the local college, taught English and creative writing. I wrote my books and toured, but then I had time, so I wrote and wrote and wrote. But then there wasn't a lot of resources, actors or crew.
So the books that you wrote, are they under your name?
Yeah.
Or do you have
No, I use my name.
Jill Murphy Long?
Yeah, I use
Okay.
all 3 names because there's a Jill Murphy published and a Jill Long
Okay, so
published.
which book are you the most proud of?
The first one, Permission to Nap. I was working in advertising in Los Angeles, not napping, not resting, not doing anything that resembled R&R. So I wrote the book for myself, and it had great success. My publisher's back in Chicago, my agents in Connecticut, and my agents in San Francisco, my editors in Connecticut. So we're scattered. But I published 3 books with them, and then I wrote 2 novels after that.
Okay, so the first book, how many words long is it? How many pages?
About 85. I'm 85,000 words. And
That's a
then
lot. But that's a lot of words.
It's a lot of research because I wanted to substantiate, because most people in America, napping is like if you're old
Oh, so
or
it's actually
kindergarten.
more of a self-help type book? or-
Yeah, they're definitely self-help gift books. Yeah,
Wow.
creative nonfiction is what the one
Creative
of the genre.
nonfiction. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Nice, though, that you got that done.
Yeah.
You were also a producer on a film called Dream Girl.
Micah Vanderdorf was the cinematographer, camera woman.
Right,
on
but
that.
they did some awesome
She's a great editor.
opacity
too.
and fading
Yeah,
in
isn't
and out
great?
on that.
And
Right?
Cami Ottman is the young actress in that. I think she was only 13 or 14 in that. I think she's a whole year older now, but she's a great actress.
Right, okay. We're going to watch a little bit of Dream Girl, and we'll be right back. You know, I liked the way the camera was moved in that. I mean, whoever did that did a great job.
That was Micah. We had the Bryans on board again. A lot of, again, the same people were on board. All in one house. We did it in 2 days.
Well, when you have one location, it makes it easy.
But there was 9 roommates and 3 dogs. So that was
In
kind of.
that house?
Yeah. So we're like, okay, bye.
Oh, I
thanks.
see. It was like a
Well, the.
not a college thing, but close
yeah,
to
just
it.
older adults.
Oh, really?
Well, no, 20, 30. But our production design woman lived there. And she's like, oh, yeah, Bethany. Oh, yeah, we can use my house.
It looks pretty clean.
Oh, you know how it's on set. You just clear everything and it
Yeah,
looks
okay.
beautiful. And then it all comes
Anyway,
back.
and who was the writer and director of that?
Dream Girl was Micah Vander.
Right, you said that already. All right. And so he directed it too?
She. It's a woman.
She.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
sorry
I've been
about
trying
that.
to work with female cinematographers and filmmakers because
Right.
they handled the set completely differently than
Are you going to be
men.
involved with the Women Pow Fest at all?
I'd like to. I'm trying to get something done. I keep missing the deadlines.
Okay, right. So what do you think is your strengths as a filmmaker?
I'm pretty good at pulling people together and get
Yeah,
out
you do.
everyone's
I've been on
energy
set
and-
with you. You
Yeah.
pull a lot of people together and get a lot done.
Yeah, well,
Which is hard.
I believe in deadlines, and I believe in if we're going to do this, let's plan and do it right, and then make our deadline. Because
Mm-hmm.
I have more movies I want to do, But we'll do the best job.
So here's
for
the
that
thing: is you
particular
have more
film.
than you want to do than you have time to do them. Is that right?
Yeah, but I know people.
There you go. So you are. What do you think is your weakness as a filmmaker then?
It's the technical side because I didn't study that, and I'll be a director that says worm's view. I want you on the ground. I don't. I'm learning my shots and everything, but I wrote it, so I know what I want. Or if
Yeah.
I read a script, like I'm working with a friend now we're doing Call Harry, and I'm like, talk to me. What do you want here? So, just when you write it, you know what you're seeing. So that's where
We
I'm
got to step
applying.
back a bit. I forgot to ask. And the Dream Girl premise again? Did I ask that?
I
don't think so.
Ask me. I
Dream
don't know if I
Girl.
can
What's the
answer.
premise of that?
Oh, basically, mom died.
Oh.
And dad found a new woman, so they're getting ready to go into that wedding thing, and she just thinks the stepmom wants to kill her. I can't say much more. She's having a dream.
Yeah.
This reoccurring dream that doesn't make any sense.
Okay. And then you were also the producer on the 405 Bridge.
Right. Zara Z produced that. Great eye, great writer and director. And we shot that in one day. Yeah, under the 405 Bridge, not quiet.
Well, but I watched part of that, and I don't know
Yeah.
how you got the sound with that.
Alexander Madison was the DP on that, cinematographer, and SV was the sound guy, and Sarah Deva
Mm-hmm.
helped as well. And I helped on sound inside, not outside. But it was just very well done.
Okay, so what's the 405 Bridge about?
Basically, it's about a homeless man who actually ran away. He has Alzheimer's, and he keeps.
Was that John?
Oh yeah, John Branch.
Okay.
Yeah, he's great too. And he keeps.
He was also in the other film.
Yeah, don't tell. We're trying to disguise him enough so you don't recognize him.
Okay, right. Yeah.
He looks pretty beat up in this one.
Okay,
He's
yeah,
a
he
homeless
does.
Guy. But basically, he keeps accosting this one young woman walking by, and it turns out in the end, I can't tell you the spoiler, but there's a connection between the two.
Okay, right. So you've been involved in some way with 15 films, some way or another.
Yeah.
As a location manager or
Right, helping
doing
out.
craft services and stuff like that. What was your favorite one? Is it one that you shot, one that you directed?
Yeah, I really
Oh,
like
that's okay if you say
Space
it.
Between because it was a huge challenge for me. Don't film in a cemetery in November. It's always
Oh my
freezing cold.
gosh. Yeah, it did look cold.
And then the house we shot out, the furnace blew the night before. So we froze in the cemetery on Saturday and then went to the house on Sunday and still had to wear our winter coats
Mm-hmm.
inside. So anyhow, it was just amazing when we got that one done. But I have high aspirations for my future films next year.
Well, will you take a few minutes and tell us about Feeding Fate? Is that something you're working on?
Yeah, and I'm very anxious to see the finished piece. It's in post-production right now. We shot up in Washington, and Vicki Green, I always call her Vicki Green. Her last name is Paul. But it's a movie about being green.
Oh, okay.
That's why on my phone, her name is Vicki Green. Her name's Vicki Paul. She wrote it, 10 pages. It was great. Guy Baker came on. He was the DP cinematographer on
I know
it.
Guy.
Yeah.
He does a really good job.
Yeah, so I think we pulled 20 extras on that. It was a smaller cast, but we had a lot of extras. In particular, we had a kind of like a family picnic carnival at the end. Of course, it rained, but then the sun came out for 5 hours, and we were able to pull it off.
Good.
But it's a good movie. It's about doing the right thing.
What about License to Fail or Half License to Fail?
License to Fail. Yes, we're trying to get funding for that one. It's a lot of driving, so I need insurance. So it's about a young girl that gets her driver's license, and she's in the car and she's freaking out. So we hear her voiceover. It's everything that she's freaking out about. The driver is Greg James. You know Greg James, the actor, right?
right.
He's agreed to be our instructor. So she's driving, and he's he's complimenting her, but she's hearing it backwards or not hearing it right. So it's just their escapades
Well, when you
on the
first
road.
drive a car, it is kind of,
Yeah.
I remember that experience.
Yeah.
Like that,
So of course
Back then, we used to have actually drive ed teachers in
Right,
school.
right.
And I always wondered how they managed to
Yeah.
not have to take medication in order to do that.
He has his
job.
coffee, so we're looking for a coffee sponsor. Full Circle Driving School has come on. They're sponsoring us. We
Are they
have
going to
a
let you use
car.
their cars?
No, well, she said we could use their parking lot because we do start in the parking lot.
Oh,
and
well,
then
that's good.
drive.
And then they got the cones and stuff already
Yeah,
there for you.
so
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so we're with the weather, we might push that off to the next year, but I'm excited for that movie as well.
All right, you also have another one called Call Harry.
Yes,
All right, tell us about Call Harry.
it's 3 men, a priest. I want you in it actually.
Okay, good.
the-
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
So it's about remorse and doing the right thing and speaking to people while you still can because you don't know how long any of us are
let me tell you
here.
something. There's people that have passed away that I wanted to go see and I didn't, and it's like,
gone.
why didn't I?
Yeah.
I could have taken a day.
Yeah.
I really I regret not doing that.
So
Taking the time.
that's what this is about. So basically, the brother-in-law, before he goes, says, call Harry Conaway. And the priest is like, okay. So he calls him, the guy dies, and then Charles comes over, and they can't move him. He's just locked down in the bed. Anyhow, I won't tell you anymore, but
Yeah.
there's a conversation that happens, and there's a priest involved, and no exorcism.
I
no.
actually read the script, so
Oh,
I know
okay.
what's going on. Just don't tell the
Yeah,
audience.
so we're moving forward. We have a location.
Okay.
We're going to probably do casting the holidays. I hate to say they get in the way, but we're going to do casting fairly soon.
Right.
Whether we shoot in December or not, we might push it to January just because everyone's so busy.
Well, I'm going to play in January, so.
Oh, we have to do it in December then.
Well, we do. I hope so. So, what is your favorite part of filmmaking? It's got to be writing, right?
Yeah. Although I like people, so I will sit down and write. Like I just
Isn't writing? It gets kind of, need people around you.
Yeah,
after a
well,
while.
I go write. I move around all the coffee stores around town, and I have permission to use the Sterling Writing Room at the Central Library downtown. You can fill out
really?
an application. If they approve you, then you can write. So that's wonderful, and that's quiet. But I usually sit where there's kind of a white noise background, pals, case study, and write.
And it helps.
Yeah, because I'm kind of working with everybody else. So I can sit at home, but I usually end up doing laundry or something stupid and not writing. So,
So what's your least favorite thing about filmmaking?
asking for money, going after,
my
just
gosh.
trying to raise the funds. So I'm trying to be more creative. You have Indiegogo. We're trying to do some fellowships and grants. I want to do more parties where we just do a party. You come, get the Hummer limos, go up to a vineyard, get the helicopters out and go for some rides. And now
Yeah.
we have money raised. And oh, by the way, we're doing a movie. But it's a ticketed price. That way, people that come can enjoy the evening for what it is, and then
Right.
maybe talk to some filmmakers too.
And so you have to have a favorite screenplay that's been written by someone. Did you get any inspiration from?
Oh yeah, a lot. Like Space Between, I really liked the movie What Dreams May Come, which starred Robin Williams and
Right.
him walking through the painting. It was sad movie. But then I liked Another Earth.
Did you draw from that for writing speed?
I read the book, so it was one of the adaptations of the book. Really was pretty true to the movie.
Okay. Mhm.
So I like that one. Same thing with The Hours by Michael Cunningham, who won the Pulitzer Prize for his book. They adapted it with Australian woman, Nicole Kidman.
Right.
I didn't even recognize her. They gave her a fake nose, but again, it was a really well adaptation from the book. So that's what I look for. That's
Okay,
what I
so-
aspire to do.
Watching the films that you write and direct, they have some kind of a message or
Yeah.
a deep meaning to them.
Yeah, Vicky Paul, got her name right this time, actually, as we were putting together the deck kit and the overview, and I was writing the script for Meltdown, she came up with a logo. So using my initials, it's JML Films, Jill Murphy Long
Right.
Films, and I have the reel up on YouTube. J stands for Justice, M for Mercy, and L for Love. So any
I
script,
saw that.
Yeah, so she made that. So thank you, Vicky. So any script that I do has to either hit one of them or all three.
Okay. And so is there a common type of film genre that you're drawn to or relate to more than any of the others?
I like comedy. I really
Okay.
like doing Happily Ever After because we laugh on. It's hard not to laugh. We can't laugh on set. It's not live. We're
No.
not allowed to laugh.
You're not supposed to.
So Shannon Melton just came on last time and helped us on sound, and she's sitting on the floor like trying not to laugh. I could just see her, and she's like busting up. So it's rewarding, and I laugh even though I'm editing the script for Mitch or reading over it, and even on set. So comedy's best. It's hard. It's really hard to write.
Somebody who's been watching this, can we put up her the subtitle there of her name again?
Oh.
Is it okay if people email you if they'd like to help you and get involved?
Yes, please. I'm always looking for
Okay.
talented people, either side of the camera.
All right. Thank you, Jill. We got to get going because we're running out of time here at Portland Film Beat. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank Jill for being here. I want to thank Ellery Nelson, my director, Carol Poland, my producer, Krista down here at TVC TV, and all the crew down here at TVC TV that helped me. I also want to thank Kate and Emily down there at PCM TV and all the help that they give me, because they do help me a lot. And until next time on Portland Film Beat, shoot for the silver screen.